sexy beast listeners, welcome back to the Double Lung Pod. As always, the guillotine, Rambo, come back at ya.
Hell yeah. Well said. Well said. So, you gonna kill any deer this week, John?
I killed one last week.
You in fact did.
I did.
But what about this week? Yeah, anything this week, you think?
Maybe later in the week. It's supposed to be warm this week.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was getting.
Yeah.
This upcoming week of October, though, I feel like is fucking just prime time. Like this is the kickoff.
There's a storm brewing.
Yeah. This is for whitetail. This is fourth quarter. You know what I mean? It's go time. I think the weekend before Halloween and Halloween itself, but the 3 days leading up to Halloween is a really fucking good time to be in the woods.
There's something about it.
Yep. Something about Halloween Day.
Yeah.
Which this year's a Monday, but I'm going to try to get out.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be 70 on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Friday and Saturday dropped to 62.
Ooh.
So, money.
This weekend should be some good hunting.
Yep.
Hopefully they get this corn down over where we hunt in Port.
Yeah, still up.
They did that last year. They didn't cut it till November.
I feel like it's getting moldy at that point, but what do I know? I'm not a farmer, dude.
No.
I know nothing about it.
Farmed some pot in my day, but it's been quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, this weekend we got Halloween, and then next weekend we got opening day of Rogues Harbor.
Oh, wow. Oh, so I talked to Ryan about that. He is coming up.
Okay.
He called me today, actually. And, yeah, he's going to come up for that. He might, because we were talking about what we're going to do Sunday, because it's like, after Rogues, there ain't a whole lot of public land up here that we'd want to hunt. The only one that's open on Sunday is C&D Canal Lands.
Is it?
Yeah. So, it's like, well, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? So, he might just go back down. Just come up for the 1 day hunt.
Yeah.
Go back.
I told the old man about it. He is all in on
Fuck
going.
Yeah. So it's going to be me, you, old man, and
Ryan.
And
there's only 8 allowed in there, right? Or is it 12?
12, I believe.
Okay.
It's 8 or 12.
Well, either way, we'll be half.
Runsky?
We could invite Runsky, sure.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from him, but I'm sure he'd want to go.
Yeah. So we'll either be half of the allowance or a third of the allowance of people in there.
Yeah, which means we got to get there early.
Yeah. God.
Like 4.
It sucks is you got to get there at the ass crack of fucking dawn, and you can't sign in until, an hour before? 2 hours before?
I think you can sign in.
Can you?
You just can't go into the property till 2 hours before sunrise, which we did last year.
Yeah.
Sat in the dark for like an hour and a half. Because it's not that far of a walk. But I feel like, it's always an electric hunt opening up at that time of the year.
It is electric.
Yeah. And November 1st, what day is that?
That's
the Tuesday after Rogues, or before Rogues, I think.
It's a Tuesday, yep.
There's another property, Fair Hill, that opens up. I'm going to take off that day.
Yeah.
It's either a Monday or a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
A lot of rain in the forecast. Look at that.
Yeah, it's raining now.
Yeah, I'm taking my week off after Rogues, so the 7th through the whatever those dates would be.
Those are the days you're going to do.
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm going to do, too. I'm going to do the Friday before Rogues, so I'm going to take November 5th to, November 11th.
Yeah.
Those are going to be my days, because I can't take a full week.
Well, I can.
You going to take a full week?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, I'll get an extra 3 weeks, a month after that, so.
Now, what is your plans for your rut? Like, say you're not getting bucks on camera, you're gonna go sit in a funnel and Port or something?
I have a spot I stumbled across last year, at the end of the year last year, that I just seen rub after rub after rub after rub. And I'm hoping, and I did see a buck over there when I was working Wednesday. I was up on the dump. It's where they take all the unwanted material and they dump it and they pile it up and all this shit. And I was up there pulling a guy out in my dozer. And I look over towards this area and I see what I think was a 10-pointer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was like 400 yards away and I could see his rack.
No shit.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
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 And it's been untouched. I haven't been over there. I'm hoping I just slip in and bust in fucking Monday morning and then just sleep the rest of my vacation.
Yeah, just sit at home and jerk off and play video games.
I mean, fuck.
If you tag out on 2 fucking big bucks, that would be sick.
Yeah, I mean, that would be it. I have to buy my bonus stamp.
Buck tag, yeah.
But, I mean, what happens if I bust one in Rogues? Then what do I do? Yeah, the fuck?
I mean,
Film
that's
you,
a good
go with
problem.
you.
It's a good problem to have,
Great
though.
problem to have.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
If you killed, I'm first big buck I see, you know what I mean? If I was you, if it's one I want to put on my wall, it's going down.
Yeah. But then there's this little demon in the back of me. It's like, don't shoot it. $1,400 in taxidermy bills.
How long do you think you could keep one in the freezer before you take it to the taxidermist?
I would imagine they're good for a while.
Yeah, I mean, from what John was saying, it only takes like 2 weeks to do them.
That's what they say.
So they're sitting in the freezer for a year anyway.
Yeah.
Before they do them. So if you wanted to like give yourself a little break, wait a few months and then take it.
Yeah, do that.
You know what I mean?
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they said it'd be 16 months over the Upper Bay taxidermy, so it's got to be sitting in the freezer for that long.
Yeah. Oh, it's got to be fine.
Yeah, I would imagine.
That's just wild, man.
Yeah. Speaking of taxidermy, you dropped off your sucker deer.
I did drop off my Sika stag, baby.
Stag.
Yeah. I was toying with, I like Euros a lot, but I feel like because they're such a unique animal that I kind of have to get it.
Yeah.
I was going to get it Euroed and then save the hide. Just keep the pelt.
Mm-hmm.
But I decided to go against it. I'm going to get him bugling.
Yeah.
A shoulder mount, get him bugling. Then I'm going to buy one of those little speakers that I can put in there with a remote. And I'll record a bugle and put it on that little speaker so I can hit a button and he'll bugle.
That's pretty sick.
That would be dope, right?
Because right before you killed him, he bugled.
Yeah.
So it's perfect.
Yeah. I wish I could have had that on camera.
Oh.
That actual recording.
Beautiful.
That would have been sick.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like you have to get that shoulder mounted. Because it's not really a big deer to begin with, and if you get it Euro mounted, it's like...
It's going to look like a little 4-point whitetail.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? If it was a monster 6, you could tell, okay, that's clearly not a whitetail.
Yeah.
But with it being a 4-pointer, you could think it's just a whitetail.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could put the hide up there or the pelt up there and fucking put a picture next to it. But I just feel like it's my first stag. I think it would be a lot cooler, though. Yeah. Just get it shoulder mounted.
Yeah. And I listened to your guys' pod that you recorded down there and with Ryan without me. And you brought up a great point. Why are they called Sika deer? They're not deer.
I don't know. They are, scientifically speaking, they are elk.
Yeah.
They're small elk. They're Service Nippon.
I mean, we don't call them bucks and does, stags and hinds.
Yeah,
Why
which
are we
is it's a red deer.
Yeah.
That's what we call red deer, stags and hinds. But, so it's referred to as a deer. It's actually an elk, and it's male and female genders are referred to as what a red deer is.
Yeah.
So it's all fucked up. It's just, I think that's that lower eastern shore fucking Bay Billy is what that is. They're just like, let's call them stags and hinds.
I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, speaking of, we got somebody was saying on a comment on the YouTube that they appreciated our Sika content because it's really hard to find out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the locals don't really like people putting stuff on the internet.
Yeah, well, I can imagine.
So we're probably gonna get jumped next time we go down there. We come out of one of our units, and there's just gonna be a mob of people.
Just gonna catch a fucking knife in between a rib.
Yeah, hey, I seen your bumper sticker, man. You guys at that double lung arch up? Like, oh yeah, this guy right here. His name's Ryan. He's the number one host, dude.
He's the brainchild behind it.
Fuck, it's him.
Yeah, I mean that's their. I guess it's not a secret anymore, but it used to be a secret.
Yeah. Nah, Meat-Eater fucking blew it up down there for sure. Even so, I think muzzleloader it's fucking gets slammed, but for bow season, like before muzzleloader, it ain't that bad. Mm-mm. I mean, you're gonna see some other hunters, but
yeah, I was telling you last night, I'm on one of the groups on Facebook for Sika hunters, and they've been slamming stags down there this weekend for muzzleloader.
It almost makes me hate guns, you know? Like, I love guns as much as the next guy, don't get me wrong, but man,
Slamming them.
Yeah. Just drilling 6-point bucks out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I seen a picture Kevin showed me. I went over there and butchered the sicko with him today. And, man, it was a absolute monster stag. I mean, fuck. I can't imagine.
We were close. We were close to him.
Yeah. If we had a muzzleloader, we might have been able to get him.
Oh, I'd have put it right in his pooper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Texas hard shot.
Yeah, dog.
Send it right down the middle.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you going to do?
So, with the rut coming up right around the corner, Johnny, I got a question for you.
All right.
Has your opinion on the moon changed at all? Do you think that has any play on the rut?
No.
No?
No.
I know a lot of guys think, like, it does. It sets off the rut, you know what I mean? The first full moon in November, like, before that is supposed to be when the rut starts, or right after that, or whatever, you know what I mean? I've heard all kinds of different things.
I mean, we said it before. It goes by daylight hours.
Yeah.
It's not about the moon.
Yeah, it's straight up science.
The only thing the moon controls is tides.
Yeah. And it's like, they've done all this research on them, and they've found no correlation between the moon and what these animals do.
Yeah.
But then you get a rebuttal by a lot of guys like the juries, and they're like, what they say is on general deer movement, yes, but they say on big bucks in particular, it has an effect on them. And they said, like, in their experience, they noticed that they see more bucks at these certain times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just can't help but think that is, like, all in your head.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's got to be something else as to why those deer are acting the way they are.
Right.
It's not the moon.
No.
I'm sure, dude, like back in the 80s and early 90s, the moon was the thing. Like, people put out books about the moon in correlation to deer hunting, and it's somehow it's just stuck all these years later.
So it was big like that back then.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I was listening to Don Higgins' podcast, and he said back in the 80s that he read a book saying, if the moon is this, don't go hunting, and he lived by it.
Really?
Yeah. And it's somehow stuck to this day.
Yeah, that's wild.
I feel like we're maybe not still in the Stone Age, but we're just now, like, creeping out of the Stone Age in how we understand these animals.
Yeah.
And we still don't understand them.
No.
But we're getting better, like, hopefully.
Yeah. But I agree. I think, like, and science is a big help. It helps that we have, universities studying them and shit and finding out, like, look, this is what they're doing. Yeah. This is fact. You know what I mean? The podcast, like Mississippi Deer Lab, is rough to listen to. It can be, like, really in the weeds. But the information and, like, the studies that they're doing are awesome. You know what I mean? Like, they did a moon study, and, like, they're like, yeah, dude, there's no evidence that the moon has any effect on these deer. Now, I do think the one thing about the moon that I do think has some effect is if it's a real full moon, a bright moon, and a clear sky, that they might bed down earlier or come out of bed later in the evening because there's so much light.
I agree with that completely.
Yeah, I do think that.
Because you think opening weekend of September this year, the 9th, it was a full moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my buck came through at 15 after 6, quarter after 6.
Yep.
And then the next weekend, obviously it wasn't a full moon, and he came through at, 8:30?
Right.
So I definitely agree with that they'll go to bed sooner.
Yeah, I think so too. But other than that, I don't put any weight in the moon.
No.
I think, like, my favorite thing to do in the rut is to sit on, like, funnels or outside of doe bedding areas.
Mm-hmm.
That's money to me. Like, you're always gonna. I've watched several bucks, like, wind check doe bedding. You know what I mean?
That's what they do all day long.
Yep. They'll just come outside the bedding and walk downwind and, like, check the bedding. And if they smell something in there, they'll go in after it. You know what I mean?
And a big buck, they don't like to go straight into the wind. They like to quarter into a wind.
Yep.
So if you can find that perfect recipe, beautiful.
I fucking hope I can get. I still have no buck on camera other than that one that I've pretty much completely decided to let walk. Yeah. Just nothing on camera worth shooting. It's hard to really. when I've got a fuck ton of meat in the freezer, and from all the sika that I shot and the one doe, it's like I don't even know what to do right now. I'm kind of hoping I can catch something on public land. I'm hoping I can get something on rogues, or I even thought about hitting public land today, and I had to double check and see like what places I could hunt, and the canal lands are just not a great spot. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get some shit done. Maybe get some prep work. I shot my bow a little bit today, which I think is important to do in the middle of the season, at least from time to time.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's 100%, especially if you go on a trip and come back, check your equipment.
Yeah.
Because, well, we didn't talk about my hunt, but when was that? Wednesday? I don't even remember. Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm sitting up in the stand, and lead doe comes through. There was 5 deer. Old Booner doe comes through. 30.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, God. She's 30 yards. She's 28, so I put my pin on 28. I put the pin in her armpit, and I let her fly, and I missed this deer right over her back by at least 8 inches. And I'm like, what the shit, bro? And one of her fawns, and I think it was one of her last year fawns, stick around, and then last year's fawn goes back out to where Mama was, and I'm like, man, I was really high, so I roll it up to 20, put it on her armpit, let it fly, and spined her still.
Wow. So the one you shot was the yearling?
Yeah, last year's.
Okay.
Yeah, she wasn't this year's fawn, last year's fawn.
So a yearling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could call it yearling. But, spined her, had to finish her off. So 3 arrows, 3 broadheads fudged up for 1 deer.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah, and I come home, and I check it the next day, and I was a foot high at 30 yards.
So what happened? What was wrong with the sight?
The sight moved. It dropped down. The whole thing slid down.
Like the sight housing?
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
Two of the bolts, because it's got 4 bolts holding it on this rail, and 2 of the back bolts were just loose as fuck.
Wow.
And it slid down somehow.
You think that was just from banging around in the truck or something?
Yeah, because I checked it that Thursday afternoon.
Yeah,
at
after
Unit
our first
X.
hunt.
Yeah, Unit X, and I was money.
Yeah.
So somehow between X and
Here, he got banged up.
Got banged, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. You told me that, and I hadn't shot my bow either, and I even went hunting.
Yeah.
I went hunting when I got back here and didn't shoot it. I'm glad I did, but I mean, it was fucking dead knots on. But I mean, yeah, you don't think about that sometimes, and a lot of times in the season, man, you just don't have time to get those reps in because you're so focused on actually getting out there. But I think it's a good thing to try and force yourself to do at least from time to time.
Yeah, and if you're up in the air, whether to get a CBE sight or a spot hog, get the spot hog.
Yeah.
CBE has too many nuts and bolts and moving pieces.
Yeah.
Just get the spot hog.
I think the spot hog's the way to go. I want one of those dialed sights.
Yeah.
But they're fucking $500.
God.
But they are sick. They're pretty as hell, and they give you more range because they're
angled.
They've got that angle on the rise, I guess, whatever you'd call it.
I don't know how these companies can be okay with charging this much for their shit.
Yeah, there's no way it costs half that to fucking make these things. No, it's probably cost them $50 to make that fucking sight.
When it comes to camo and sights and releases and bows, they're just catering to not the everyday guy.
No, shit is so. We were talking about this not too long ago. Like, I feel like you can't get anything for a bargain anymore.
No,
you just can't. Either you're paying out the ass for something that's a good piece of equipment, or you're buying garbage. That's it. There's no in between anymore. There's no like, oh, this is a solid deal. Like, other than maybe Vortex optics.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, as far as like anything else in hunting, it's like you're gonna have to pay your fucking ass off to get something decent.
It's sad.
Yeah. Like even like spot hog sight, like the dials are fucking outrageous, but like a spot hog or a CB, fucking $400 almost for these goddamn things. It just seems ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's the going price for anything that's decent. You know what I mean?
Fuck, even stabilizers.
Mm-hmm.
I think the front and rear stabilizer of my bow was 150?
Right, for a
What the
fucking
fuck
rod
is it?
of carbon.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
a threaded piece of metal in it. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Still cheaper than golf, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's broadheads and arrows and fletchings and all that shit. I don't know. That's another thing I want to talk about. So I've been fletching my own arrows and shit, and like, man, I tell you what, like it's almost easier to just buy them with those blazer vanes and fucking be done with it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's good to be able to refletch them, but like, I don't notice much of a difference from the standard fletched blazer vanes to helical, and like other than like you get some vein clearance and stuff that I guess it makes it worth it. But I don't know. I'd say just for the sake of simplicity, just stick with fucking regular ass blazer vanes that they stick on for you.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
But for me, I enjoy the process of arrow building.
Do you?
I mean, I cut it down, I glue the inserts, I fletched the entire thing. So I built it. Besides, making the actual arrow.
Yeah.
Built that arrow, so I know what's in it.
I think you just really enjoy spending your time working a shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, but sometimes you take your arrows places and they just kind of rifle through it and do a shoddy job.
Yes. Yeah.
Which you have had happen. We've all had happen.
Yep. Everybody. I mean, it's important to have a good bow shop. That's for damn sure. But I don't know, man. I think keeping it simple, stupid is a great thing to stand by when it goes to hunting and in all aspects of it. That's why I really like this fucking saddle, man. Like, once you get it down, it's such a streamlined setup. Like for long hikes and shit in, dude, it is so nice to just walk in.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have anything clanging and banging on your back or any of that bullshit. You know what I mean? I got one fucking stick and a platform and a bilk bag.
Yeah.
It's pretty
You
sweet.
son of a bitch, you have me all in on buying a saddle.
Yeah, you should get that black belt saddle.
I should, huh?
Yeah, you should. I want
300
to try that
fucking
thing on. That thing fox.
Yeah, it looks sick.
That looks like the swing in my bedroom.
Yeah, I'll probably either go that or double panel cruiser.
Yeah, the double.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like having a back pad already built in, you know what I mean? Which Ryan said he likes, but he doesn't. He's like, unless I'm doing an all-day sit, he doesn't think it's worth packing it in.
Yeah.
The back strap. But I do still want to get one. I think I'll probably buy one before the rut.
Yeah.
Just to have it. Just to be able to fucking use that thing like a fucking hammock.
Yeah, dog.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm excited for the rut, man.
Fucking A, dude. I gotta fill a buck tag.
Yeah. Filled one last year. Hopefully something big walks out at Rogues Harbor, which can definitely happen.
That's my hopes, man. So I got a couple things on here that I wanted to bring up. I read this thing called the Bay Journal, and it's like a free newspaper, and it's all about like shit related to the bay and surrounding like wildlife areas. So nutrias, are you familiar with them?
Mm-hmm.
They're like those big rodents that we had in Blackwater, and they would actually eat the marsh down in Blackwater, and they're an invasive species. Well, they declared them officially eradicated as of September 16th of this year.
No shit.
Yeah, which is crazy because you never hear any of invasive species. It's always like, oh, well, we're stuck with this. You know what I mean? But they actually successfully killed, allegedly, every nutria in the Chesapeake Bay.
I don't believe that.
You don't think so?
No. I know they waged all-out war on them.
Yeah.
There's no way they killed all of them.
No.
There's got to be at least 1, 2, 3 left.
Yeah. It's such a big area.
Yeah. You don't know what the fuck's in there.
No. Hell no.
There's probably animals in there that we've never seen before.
Yeah. I think that's totally possible.
Yeah.
It's such a large piece of, I mean, especially the whole fucking bay. Blackwater alone is fucking, 33,000 acres, I think it is, or 36,000, something like that. And then you got Ellis Bay and Fishing Bay right next to it. It's another 30,000 acres. It's like, to try and say that there's none of them in there almost seems a little insane to me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
How do you know that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess you got enough hunters, you got enough eyes out there, and nobody's seen one in however long.
Right. I wonder when the last time one was sighted was. That's probably what they're going off of.
That's a good question. I'd like to know. I'd like to know the answer. Someone tell me the answer.
Another thing, I thought this was pretty cool. Up in PA, in September of next year, pine martens, which are in the weasel family, and they weigh about 1 to 3 pounds, and they're between 19 and 27 inches long, are actually going to be reintroduced.
Oh, like a little weasel.
Yeah, they're almost like
Looks like a ferret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. Apparently, hunters were like up in arms about it because they were afraid of them like killing turkeys, like baby turkeys.
Yeah.
But allegedly, these pine martens, DNR said that they like monitored them and checked like their scat and fucking seen what they ate and shit, and no turkeys were found in there.
So what's the purpose of reintroducing them?
It beats me, dude. They just want, we want pine martens, you know?
Something to do, I guess.
Yeah, DNR's got nothing better to do with their fucking time.
God.
Yeah.
Hey, go for it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Yeah, definitely cool. Did you see influencer Josh and Sarah Bomar plead guilty to Nebraska poaching case?
I did see that.
That made me feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he pled non-guilty for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
So fill me in. What happened? Do you know the story?
I got it right here. It was turkey hunting, and let's see here. They pled guilty to begin with, and after years-long stagnation, social media influencers and alleged poachers Josh and Sarah Memar have changed their plea to guilty and have been given a sentencing date. They were charged in 2020 with a laundry list of crimes. These included hunting turkeys without a valid permit, illegally transporting game across state lines, and illegally baiting of wildlife, among others. The charges stem from the largest poaching sting operation in Nebraska state history.
So
Wow.
this was in 2020?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, so it took that long to get that shit processed?
Yeah. They will be sentenced January 12th.
So what the fuck did they do?
Sounds like they baited some turkeys and didn't have a permit to shoot them, sounds like, and then took them across state lines.
Holy fuck. That's pretty bad. That's straight up poaching. So
Yeah, I mean,
it's not like, oh, I thought it was a fucking tom and it was a hen. That's like, dude, you're fucking poaching.
And that's what Chris Brackett did back in 2015, and then the footage resurfaced. He shot a buck, and then I think he shot another buck. Maybe that wasn't it, but he took the whole deer across state lines.
Okay.
And you're not allowed to do that.
No.
Which I just learned this year.
Yeah.
You have to cape it or quarter it or something, but you can't take the whole deer.
Isn't that something to do with CWD?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, like, for here, because there's some butchers here that are in PA, and you can drop your meat off in a cooler here, and then you got to go pick it up in PA.
Yeah.
Because you can't take the whole deer across state lines.
Yeah. They go to the cooler here and quarter it or do whatever the hell they do. Debone it, I guess. Then they take the meat up there, package it, cut it up, do whatever.
That makes no sense to me.
Makes no sense to me either. But, some laws are just ridiculous.
Yeah. I just don't understand how that can prevent the spread of CWD. You still got the meat.
Don't deer cross state lines?
Yeah. Like, what do you think? They're like, oh, no, I can't go over there, though. That's Pennsylvania.
There's a border here, dude.
Yeah, that's fucking asinine.
But yeah, that made me happy that Bomar. I don't know, I hate to be a hater, but I just don't like the dude's face.
Yeah. He's got a very punchable face.
Yeah.
Probably kick my ass, but
Oh, he's a big dude.
he's a big son of a bitch.
He's on all the gas.
All the gas, yeah. Definitely Mexican supplements in his diet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, you fucking do stupid shit, you win stupid prizes. You know what I mean? I wonder how that's going to affect his YouTube channel and shit. Probably not much.
I don't know. I mean, it hasn't really been a thing in the news in the hunting community. I don't know why this actually popped up just on my Google, but it did.
It's probably like Google knows you don't like Josh Bomar.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, I'm sure people are talking about it.
Yeah.
Maybe no articles have come out yet, but he's probably got like a bunch of sponsors and shit. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them drop him.
Yeah, dog. He's going to have to make a rebuttal video here soon, I would imagine.
Yeah.
You can't just sweep that under the rug.
No. I'm interested to see what he has to say.
Me too. Me too.
Speaking of the topic of DNR, our buddy from the TAC, Tim from Pennsylvania, he told me the story, and I asked him if I could talk about this on the podcast because it's a wild story, man, but it's just good fucking wholesome stuff. So I'm just gonna read what Tim told me. So he's taking his son out, and he's trying to get him his first deer, and here's how it reads. He said, "We had a doe parade by the stand right at sunset. He was having trouble getting on him with the gun and was super nervous. We got one to stop at 30 yards, and I told him to take his time and shoot. So he did, and he made a perfect double-lung shot. Went 20 yards and fell over. We walked up to it, and it had little antlers."
Yes.
Well,
No.
it's fucking up in PA. It's antlerless right
Yeah,
now, so
yeah.
you cannot shoot anything with antlers. So he walks up to it with his son, and he's like, I couldn't believe it. He was so excited, but he broke the news that he had to turn it in. It was his fault. He said it was my fault, not his, and I couldn't believe it. It had tiny little antlers. I couldn't believe he didn't see them. So he calls DNR and tells him what happened, which was the right thing to do. You know what I mean? He's
Yes.
setting a good example for his son. Like, he could have been like, look, dude, we're just going to throw this thing in the back of the truck and between you and me. But that would have set a really bad example for
Yeah,
the little guy.
exactly.
You know what I mean? And that was just a stand-up thing to do by Tim. So DNR shows up, and they are fucking just stand-up guys. And they're like, look, it happens. You know what I mean? We're happy he got his first deer. They give him a fucking hat, a couple little trinkets, let him keep the deer, and fucking congratulate him and went on his way.
I would hope any DNR officer would do that,
I hope so.
because that shit happens.
Yes. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
And, like, for that to be a kid's first deer, if you would be so much of an asshole to go up there and take that fucking deer, you should be fired. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what hunting's all about. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's about that experience that he shared with his dad. And for them to understand that and be just good, genuine dudes and look at it as hunters, because I bet they were hunters. Because if they weren't, that might have went different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
But I think that was just fucking an awesome story, and I'm fucking huge shout out to Tim and your son. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a stand-up thing to do, to call that in.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm gonna tell you right now, I wouldn't.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said though, I mean with
Yeah.
the little guy there, that
Yeah.
was the thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it set a good example. And that's what it's all about. You know, that's
it.
hunting. That's what it should be anyway. I know sometimes shit gets muddied up with all these fucking crazy laws and shit that we have, and fucking bag limits and point systems, and like PA can be tough for their rules and regulations. So
Yeah.
to me, that's fucking asinine that their muzzleloader comes in right after bow opens. Like, their bow season starts October 1st, and then bam, 2 weeks later it's fucking
shit.
muzzleloader.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. At least we have a month and a half.
Yeah, before muzzleloader comes in.
Yeah. So us bow hunters, us stealthy guys, get a nice. You know, we the woods doesn't get blown up.
Yeah.
We can creep along. The deer are fine.
I love early season because of that. I wish fucking muzzleloader wouldn't come in until like 3 weeks after the rut. You know what I mean?
Get rid of all guns.
Yeah, like I know it's necessary, but it's like, man, it really, the whole woods changes after the Orange Army comes out.
Yeah. Good luck seeing a fucking deer.
Yeah, it makes a big impact. But at the same time, I love participating in it too. You know what I mean? But
Hell yeah.
it's a little bit irritating when you're fucking sweating your balls off all early season, hiking and trying to get within 30 yards of one of these fucking animals, and then some fat dude eating potato chips comes out in a fucking orange jacket.
It's
and
60 degrees, perfect weather.
and he fucking just smokes a monster stag from 110 yards.
Yeah, I understand the frustration. I do.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my later years, I've definitely grown to, I wouldn't say hate, but not enjoy gun hunting.
Yeah.
Man, I like being up close and personal, son.
Yeah.
I like to see that projectile fly.
Absolutely, man. There's nothing about a firearm compares to a bow when it comes to hunting. I mean, I get it for like an efficacy thing and for meat. Like, totally, yeah. Rifles are the fucking way to go. I mean, that's the truth. Like, you can try to dress it up and be like, oh, well, a bow's more ethical. And it's not. It's not. Like, let's be realistic here. How many deer do you think have been injured by a bow as opposed to a rifle?
Oh.
Probably a hell of a lot more with a bow.
Yeah.
It is not as an effective option to I mean, like, I'm throwing shade right now, but I mean, you got to be realistic.
I've never even thought about it like that.
It's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not, man. But there's just something about it that it makes you appreciate your quarry a lot more when you have to pursue it at such depth that you have to do to get within that range of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to kill a deer from 150 yards or 300 yards, it's really not that hard of a thing to do. You don't even really have to know deer. You know what I mean?
You don't need to know deer. You don't need to know the weather. You don't need to know how they react to weather or react to wind and you.
No, it's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
And it takes a little skill, but not much.
Just got to know how to pull trigger and hit a dot.
Yes. And with a bow, it's just so much more involved, so much more personal, so much more skillful. It's just a lot more exciting, man. But it's definitely, it's got its ups and downs, you know.
Yeah, I think this is the first year that I didn't go muzzleloader hunting this weekend.
Yeah, I didn't go.
I didn't go at all.
I had my kids all weekend. My mom's at the beach, so I don't have a sitter. And I honestly, like, I don't have. We could have went to port. You know what I mean? I'm sure I could have figured something out and gotten out in the woods or you know, whatever. But it's like, man, I'm going to go out there with all these other motherfuckers and compete for shots. And I mean, last time we went, it sounded like World War II.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's. Wish I would have got to go out, don't get me wrong, but I'm not like super upset about it. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah. That's why I like the quarry bow only.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, these deer are probably getting shot at on other property by guns, but, you know, there it's a little safe haven.
Mm-hmm.
They only got to worry about me.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
They got a problem in there, son.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I wonder if Kevin and Brandy are getting out tonight. Oh, no. Muzzleloader's over. Right?
I think it kicks back in beginning of this week, doe only.
Yeah, antlerless only. But it's not today, though, right? Isn't it off today?
I'll find out right.
Yeah, I know antlerless only kicks off. And that's a question that Ryan called me up and he asked. He was wondering if he could shoot a buck during antlerless only muzzleloader season.
It opens tomorrow for antlerless.
Gotcha. So today is off, no muzzleloader.
Yeah.
But did you hear that question that Ryan had?
Could he kill a buck with his bow?
During antlerless muzzleloader.
That's a good question that I do not know the answer to.
That's what I said too, but I was like, well, look on there and see when bow season, what the dates are for bow season.
Mm.
Because if it's just muzzleloader right now, then no. But if it's on the bow calendar, then yes, you can shoot a buck with a bow. At least that's my interpretation.
Yeah, that's how I would interpret it too, but I would definitely check.
Want to be sure about that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Ryan, no, you can't. Because I'm looking at it right now. Whitetail deer antlerless archery, Region B, which we are, falls on the dates that are antlerless for muzzleloader.
But what about antlered?
Oh. Antlered. Okay, well. I don't know.
Yeah, and definitely, whatever we say on here, don't just do it. And fucking check your regs and figure it out for yourself, because we've fucked up in the past. I've never actually killed anything when I wasn't supposed to, but I've gone hunting and tried to before. Yeah. I've been
pursuit.
I thought I was fucking perfectly good to go, you know what I mean? And if we had somebody message us and like, hey, dude, season's ended yesterday. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like climbing out of my stand.
I mean, you know, That's understandable. I mean, fuck, it's the end of the season's always the 31st of January, and all of a sudden that year it was the 30th.
Yeah, that was fucking. They were trying to get people.
Yeah.
Got me almost.
Whew.
Fuck. That would have sucked. Can you imagine you smoke a monster buck?
I'm
and
gonna
you
tag this.
it? Yeah, and you go to the butcher and DNR is just waiting for you.
The butcher's closing up shop. What the fuck's going on, dude?
Oh, you shoot that yesterday? Nah, man, 30 minutes ago. The butcher's face just drops.
Get out.
Get out of
Leave.
my shop. Yeah.
It's,
Gotta check that shit, man.
yeah, Ryan, call DNR, because I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I should probably text him, because he probably won't hear this for a few days.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a day that you can't hunt on. I think it's the day after rifle season ends that you can't even bow hunt.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. In the calendar, it's a Sunday, but that day you can't bow hunt or rifle hunt.
Well, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, give them a day of rest. Just
A day.
yeah, they get slammed during rifle. So
Not as bad as it used to be, though.
no,
It really isn't.
you don't think so?
I mean, fuck, 20 years ago, me and my dad would show up at a public land spot, and you couldn't get a parking spot.
Really?
Now, you see 5 or 6 trucks,
Yeah.
and they're all out of state.
Yeah.
So,
That's the way it goes, though. That's Cecil County for you.
yeah. Yeah, what do you got to?
Yep. Now we got some work to do if we're going to get any more bucks on the ground. I mean, we've got some high hopes here for public land, some of these spots that are opening up. But for our personal spots, we got to, well, you got that one that you just saw, but for me, I'm hoping to catch a cruiser coming off another property
That's pretty
during
much,
the rut.
That's pretty much what I'm hoping for, too, because I had that big, tall 8-pointer at 12 yards after I shot that doe on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Could have iced him.
If I don't start seeing fucking bucks on camera in November, I'm just going to start icing does.
Fuck
What else am I going to do? You know what I mean?
That's my plan.
Fuck it. If I don't have any bucks, like, if I'm not seeing them, I'm not catching them on camera, fuck it. I'm shooting does.
Exactly.
Hey, I still love shooting a doe.
Did you see that? I think I told you about it last night. That that guy shot a buck and didn't think he hit it right, and he was going to take a second shot and fell out of his stand, broke his arm, and possibly broke his back.
Holy shit.
Went to the hospital, and while he's in the hospital, his buddy goes and looks for his buck, finds his buck, brings it to the hospital to show the guy.
Wow. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so.
Man, I'll tell you what, if that happened to you, John, and you fucking fell out of your tree stand, I would go find your buck and then take pictures with it and post it on social media and say it was mine.
Look what I shot.
Look what I got. You're commenting from the hospital with your one good arm. You motherfucker.
That's my goddamn deer.
That is good. That's good shit, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's what fucking hunting buddies, that's what it's all about, man.
Exactly.
Where was that at?
Arkansas.
Okay. Yeah. I guess that's south. Would you consider that the south? It's kind of Midwesty, kind of south. That's,
Right above Texas, right? Or is that Oklahoma?
That's
I
Oklahoma.
don't even know where Arkansas is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's like southern central.
It's like next to Tennessee.
It's like somewhere down in Panama, I believe. It's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Below the equator.
Yeah, right by Colombia.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Great cocaine.
Best. The best. Colombian women and cocaine. It's a great place.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man. Well, Johnny, you got anything else? I got a fucking pounding headache.
Oh, boy. No, I got nothing.
I'm going to go blow my brains out. Or I'll just drink a bunch of your Bus Light.
Yeah, hey, that helps.
Crash on your couch. Mm-hmm.
That helps. It definitely helps.
It does. Whiskey helps. Bush Light helps. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate the fuck out of y'all. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, the whole deal. Give us a review on Spotify, appreciate it.
Only 5 stars. If you don't do 5 stars, just don't even review it.
Yeah, off yourself.
Because we have 5 stars on Spotify.
Hell yeah. We're going to try to get back on. We're definitely getting out this weekend. It's fucking Halloween. Like we said, it's a fucking awesome time to hunt. Got a small cold front coming in. Yeah. Some temp drops anyway. So hopefully we get something on the ground.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Bye.
Bye-bye.